Go ahead and shut down and go to breakfast. He was thinking in his own mind it was a flight of B-17 coming in from the United States. But indeed, 400 miles to the north lay the Imperial Japanese First Fleet under the command of Admiral Chuichi Nagoma, Hitachi, Naga, Hiryu, Sorgi, Shokaku, and Toikaku. 183 aircraft of the Imperial Japanese First Fleet had just invaded our island base at Pearl Harbor. The date, December the 7th, 1941. The time, 7:55 in the morning, and you are there. The Mitsubishi A6M0, the Nakajima B5NK, and the Ayachi D3A dive bomber, launched from these 6 aircraft carriers. Well into the early morning hours, indeed, it was not a flight of B-17s. It was the Japanese fleet with their surprise attack on our base in Pearl Harbor. An Nakajima B5NK, it had a specially designed torpedo between the wheel wells. They had only successfully tested it about a month ahead of the invasion of Pearl Harbor. Admiral Yamamoto knew he had to have something gone shallow in the waters there in Pearl before they could get across to the top of the submarine net. Mitsubishi A6M0, capable of over 300 miles an hour, a high-altitude, very agile fighter. It was faster and more maneuverable than anything America had in the Pacific theater at that time. But indeed, 2 young servicemen, Lieutenants Ken Taylor and George Welch, managed to get their P-40 Warhawks. You're going to see one a little bit later this afternoon. They got those Warhawks into the air. They took off from Aliwa, and they were able to shoot down 7 of the invading forces on that December the 7th morning, 1941. High above, the Ayachi D3A dive bomber, 250-pound bomb between the wheel wells, comes down on the United States battleship, the Arizona, drops that bomb. It goes right alongside the number 2 gun emplacement. It goes through first 1, then 2, then 3 decks into the forward magazine. That great ship loaded with such force that she burned for over 24 hours and took almost 1,200 young sailors to a watery grave. They sleep there today. Listen to the sounds of war. Feel the concussion of the bomb under your feet. Smell the acrid smoke as it burns the nostrils. Think of yourself, you're an 18-year-old serviceman, and get her out into deep water so they can fight against the aggressors. Because of the invasionary forces going on, he knows he can't get out there. He beats his head left in Goodson, Aliwa, Pearl Harbor, Ford Island, lay in rubble. Listen to our President Franklin Delano Roosevelt as he goes before Congress the next morning.
Today, December 7th, 1941, a day which will live in infamy. The United States of America deliberately attacked by naval military forces. I regret to tell you that very many American lives have been lost. With confidence in our armed forces, with the unfounding determination of our people, we will gain the inevitable triumph so often promised.
And ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that America did gain that inevitable triumph. It was 4 long years later, and over 5.5 million people died until it was all over in 1945, both in Europe and in the Pacific theater. But as we listen to the great Kate Smith sing about our nation, I want you to realize that America went to war on December the 7th, 1941. Think of the song, Remember Pearl Harbor, and think about Rosie becoming a riveter, Fort Jackson attitude and the attitude of the American people. Admiral Yamamoto said, I fear we've done nothing more than to awaken a sleeping giant and filled him with a great resolve. That resolve, ladies and gentlemen, was the heart and soul of America, because they went to war to celebrate the young men and women who were fighting for us so that we could be and continue to be the great free nation that we are. Whether it was World War I, or II, or Korea, or Vietnam, or the Persian Gulf, or Afghanistan, or yes, ladies and gentlemen, our young men and women who are dying in Iraq today. Please take a moment, think about them, and say in your own heart, thank you for allowing America to be the greatest free nation in the world. Do you believe that, Fort Smith? Take a moment and say hello to the young men and women who are on the field today to entertain you here at the Fort Smith Regional Air Show. Ladies and gentlemen, we are Jim Ryan, Mark Allen, Buddy Cooksey, Patrick Hutchins, Mike Anderson, Doug Jackson, Billy Parker, Ron Iberg, Robert Nishimura is our ground support guy. Across the field is the finest pyrotechnics group in the nation, led by Lieutenant Ben West of the